All right, so tonight we're what are we doing? We're breaking down Rolling Stone's new top 500 songs of all time list.
Right.
I guess the last time they did this was 17 years ago in 2004.
Wow.
So I guess they take a crack at this every once in a while,
Yeah.
try to update it. The only background I know about it is that this time what they did was they did it by votes. They put together a panel, I guess, and they all just voted.
Hmm.
The songs that got the most votes just became the list, as opposed to, I don't know how they used to do it. Maybe they just had a bunch of staff writers just
Yeah.
just work out a list together.
Is this the same way they did an album list, right? Like last year?
Yeah,
Was it the same method of
I think they use the same method.
music insiders, industry insiders?
Yeah, I should have, I didn't even read who was on that. Did you read who was on that?
No, I saw something when it first came out that they said it was, you know, staff, music people,
I think it's
industry
also some
people.
artists though, right? They always,
I think there is, yeah, I think there are some artists on there.
yeah, and they probably tried to make the art, the whoever voted as diverse as possible, age and race and class,
Hmm.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I guess what they came up with was a pretty eclectic, mixed up group of 500 songs.
Yeah, I would say so. And I was wondering, I'm sure it's somewhere, but there's got to be a list of songs that got knocked off.
Yeah, there is actually. I
Oh, is
found
there?
that
Okay.
tonight. There were
Huh.
25 songs that were knocked off from the 2004 list.
Oh, okay.
Hound Dog,
Really?
yep. Rock and Roll
The
by the
Elvis
Velvet
version?
Underground, Ticket to Ride, Shake Some Action by the Flamin' Groovies, Search
Mm.
and Destroy, Iggy and the Stooges, Call Me by Blondie, Another Girl, Another Planet by the Only Ones.
Oh, yeah.
Um, am I reading the right list?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm not. Wait a second. No, sorry. These are the 25 songs that were dropped from the 2004. Hound Dog,
Oh,
Hound Dog, You've Lost That Love and Feeling, When a Man Loves a Woman, Long Tall Sally, The Times They Are a Changin', Whole Lot of Shakin', For What It's Worth, Buffalo Springfield, Sunshine of Your Love, California Girls, Mystery Train by Elvis, I Got You, I Feel Good, James Brown, Norwegian Wood, Blue Suede Shoes, Roll Over Beethoven by Chuck Berry, You Can't Always Get What You Want by the Rolling Stones, Voodoo Child, Slight Return, Jimi Hendrix, Bebop Hot Stuff by Donna Summer, Living for the City, Stevie Wonder, The Boxer, Not Fade Away by Buddy Holly, Brown Eyed Girl, I've Been Loving You Too Long to Stop Now, Otis Redding, That's All Right, Elvis Presley, and You Send Me by Sam Cooke. Those are gone.
mm. Wow. Those are some good songs.
Those are some really good songs. So I don't want to just like attack this thing and just be,
No, no, no. I mean, I'm sure they get their fair share of letters too.
yeah. And honestly, I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a pretty good list overall.
It's going to change too over the years, right?
Yeah.
As I mean, if Rolling Stone is still in business, you know, 50 years from now,
Well, and we could
what the
get,
list will look like.
yeah. And that's a whole another sort of interesting topic because you could probably get a little cynical and say that part of this list is to help make sure that they do stay in business by
Mm,
making sure that some of the artists who keep
yeah,
the bills getting paid or get represented here.
sure. Yeah,
um,
right.
but I don't really know for sure how true that is. I'm just kind of being
Yeah.
cynical, jerk. But I
No,
think
I
that,
know. I
yeah,
think
go ahead.
I think when these kind of things come out, you kind of automatically invite criticism. You know, you have to know it's coming.
Sure.
You have to know different people are going to be like, well, what about this? What about that? And even just, I think the first day it came out, someone on my list was all up in arms, my Facebook friend list or whatever, was all up in arms about it. You know, um, that's okay. They should get up in arms if they want to.
I mean, that's kind of the fun of it.
Yeah, I think so. And I think, it's like, well, what are the glaring omissions, um, And of course, I always kind of quickly scan the list and see, and sometimes it seems like, oh, there's the jazz song you would expect. There's the, the Latino song. There's the,
Yeah. Well,
um,
so that's okay. Maybe we could start like figuring out a way to break this down. But I think one of the first things that I would want to look at is okay, so clearly they're trying to make it it's representing a younger
mhm,
demographic. It's representing probably a more diverse demographic.
right,
Both of those things I think are great, right? I mean, music is supposed to be always evolving, and
right,
to make the list more diverse, I think is exactly right.
mhm,
Um, I'm thrilled to see that they're not just going for the like old white classic rock stuff again and again and again, because it seemed like
right,
for half my life, if not more, you could just assume that things like Stairway to Heaven and Pink Floyd and whatever, it was always going to be in the top 5 or 10, and it was
right,
just really kind of boring, to be honest. And um, so I
yeah.
was very happy to see Stairway to Heaven all the way back at 61. I think that's great. I think
Push
that's a
it
nice
back.
place for it to live.
Yeah,
But the fact that it jumps around genres so much, I think, is a little bit of an issue. And one of the main reasons is number
I have my list in front of me.
one one of the main reasons that that's problematic for me is number I can't find it right now, but it's um Miles Davis.
Oh yeah,
What
so
song is
wonderful.
it? It's from the Kind of Blue album.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Yeah, I
it's
saw that go
great.
by.
It's a great piece. It's a great song, obviously, but
Hmm.
and then later on there's a either a Cannonball Adderley song or
Hmm.
somebody else. Great, two great songs. But my problem with it is that once you bring jazz into this list, it's over because you could then fill the whole thing. You could easily bring in 100 jazz songs that are going to knock some of this. I'm sorry, but some of this not so great stuff that's on here, which is on
Right.
here,
Well,
I
how do
think,
you? Yeah,
and that kind of changes everything. So I just wouldn't bring any jazz into it at all because I don't think
would you
that's
have
the
it be a
kind of
separate
list.
list, like the 500 greatest jazz songs, or would you? Or I mean, but how, I guess it raises the questions: how do you compare, Miles Davis with, Beyonce, or the Kinks? You know,
Yeah,
how do you say Waterloo Sunset should be a higher number than, you know Strange Fruit or something?
right. I think that's really hard to do, and I think you
Or
could
yeah.
also. I mean, I think you could say that this is a pop a pop music list,
Hmm.
basically, right? And
Right. It's
jazz,
Western centric. Yeah.
yeah, and jazz never really, in my opinion, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think you'd ever call jazz pop music, right?
No, I mean, I think there's been crossover probably,
Yeah,
you know, like with, Louis Armstrong had, it's a wonderful, what a wonderful world.
right. That's a good
Um,
example. Yeah.
I'm trying to
Uh,
think of other examples, but I don't think, and over the years there have been musicals that have had jazz influences that, you know, probably entered the pop charts at some point, but yeah.
right. See, I just feel like it's kind of insulting to those artists, those jazz artists, to even bring them onto this list.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I couldn't figure out how to compare the two, like, or how to compare, like, even, other artists,
Yeah.
how do you pare this down? Do you see? I would subdivide these lists. That's just the way my brain works.
Right.
Um, and I think you have to, like, put a time marker on it too.
Hmm.
The 500 greatest songs. As of April 2021.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. It seems it put 500 in all like jumping genres all over the place. Why does this one get to be here? Why does Joy Division get to be here? But I don't know. You know, some new artists like Billie Eilish. How do you you know, make sense of that and
I also I
put a
do have a
number on
little
it
bit of what's that?
and put a number on it? Like that's number 4. That's number. Is it for votes? Is that what they did,
I
or
think
is it
that's just
just
votes. Yeah.
yeah?
So I don't think in any way they're saying that any song is better than another song. I just think they're saying I just
Hmm.
think this is just how it shook out in terms of number of votes.
Right. Yeah.
Um, I do have a little bit of a thing about music about songs that came out really recently because
Hmm.
I think part of this is that songs stand the test of at least a little bit of time, like maybe at least a decade, you know?
Yep.
I'm reading this article about Questlove. It was in the New York Times a couple of weeks ago. And he said that he gets a little bit annoyed when people call a song that just came out a classic.
Mm.
You know, like he said a new Kanye song came out at some point and everyone was like, oh man, this is a classic, you know? And he was like, whoa, 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 hold the phone, like let it breathe a little bit, you know?
Right. Right.
Like let's not be in such a rush to
That's true.
christen it a classic just because you like it right now, you know? Let's see how it
Yeah.
holds
Yeah.
up. And
Over the test of time. Sure. That's a good point.
yeah. So I don't know, like number 20, for example, is this song by Robin. I barely know who that is, but I did give her a listen. You know, I do want to like part of the, you know, I do want to use this list as a way of getting to know some new artists. You know, that's really great.
Hmm.
So I was
Yeah.
listening to
I don't know that.
Robin a little bit,
I don't know
and
that person either.
hmm?
I don't know that person either.
So okay, that song came out in 2010. So I guess I guess it meets my what I was
Your
just saying,
decade test.
my criteria. Yeah, but I don't know how that song gets into the top 20. I just don't get it.
Yeah. What
Um,
do you think that's, I mean, probably, I mean, the cynical part is saying, well, they included these songs because of criticism they faced in the past. You know, it was light on newer artists, it was light on hip hop artists, you know.
yeah,
So depending on who the people they had casting these votes too makes a huge difference.
definitely.
Yeah.
So let's see. Let's think of some of these questions. So here's one. What's something about this list that makes you really happy?
Oh, makes me happy. That's a good question. I think seeing the Kinks in the top 20. I
Yeah.
always like when the Kinks get recognized. Um,
What do they come in at number 14? Waterloo Sunset. Yeah.
Waterloo Sunset. I think I would put Waterloo Sunset in the top 5.
Hmm.
Um, but I know that's not how they're doing it. I think it's one of the best songs ever written. You
That's
know,
a beautiful song.
yeah, and yeah, that made me happy. What about you? About this list?
Um, let's see. Um, okay, aside from the fact that Stairway got pushed back all the way to number 61, because quite honestly, I've never been a big fan.
No.
um, I'm pretty happy that okay, a couple of songs that I really think are great from the last, say, 25 years, 20 years or
Hmm.
so. Waterfalls by TLC
Oh yeah.
and Royals by Lord. I really think that those are
Hmm.
great songs. And
Yep.
I really am happy to see them take their seat in, you know, the greatest songs ever lists. I think that's really
Yeah.
excellent and well deserved, and it makes me happy.
Good question. Yeah, those are good.
It also makes me happy to see Once in a Lifetime, Talking Heads in the top 30. I think it should be
Yeah.
higher. I do think that's at least a top 10 song to me.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's a great
Um,
song. Great production, great writing.
yeah.
Yeah. I was just listening to that the other day. Yeah.
Okay, here's the next question. Unless you have you can throw a question out if you want.
Yeah. What surprised you about this list?
That was my next one. Ah, unbelievable.
Mine
Okay.
meld.
What surprised me?
I'm reaching down to Brooklyn.
I guess I was a little surprised that there still are a good number of songs that, we kind of associate with that older
Mhm.
chunk of time, the baby boomer time, I guess, to, lack of a better word. I really thought it was going to push even more of those songs out.
Yeah.
But I was really happy to see that wasn't the case. There's still, Little Richard and the Temptations and a really good amount of Beatles songs and Springsteen and Joni Mitchell, who's got a song as high as 26,
Oh yeah. Yep.
and Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody, which seems to be having like a third life, right? Its first life was its original release. Its second life was Wayne's World, and now its third life.
Right. Well, the biopic movie too.
Biopic movie, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, like a Rolling Stone, Dylan is still coming in at number 4.
Mm,
So
yep.
I was surprised. I thought it was going to be even less of sort of the tried and true stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah.
But I was happy to see and surprised to see that there was still a good amount of space for those songs.
That's cool.
How about you?
Surprise. I think my initial surprise was that Michael Jackson didn't make the top 20.
Yeah, that is surprising.
And I'm wondering if that has more to do with like his public persona, and all the kind of weird stories we've heard over the years and continue to hear.
Definitely. What's his highest song? Let's see if I can find it.
I just dropped my list. Hold on. I'll be right back.
I got it.
I think it's number 40 or something, right?
44, Billie Jean.
Yeah. That
That's not
I get
even my favorite Michael Jackson song.
right. I mean, where does Beat It end up?
I don't know.
That's a killer song. And are there Jackson 5 songs on the list? And I guess that has to do a lot with age too, like living through the 70s and 80s and just his impact on everything: fashion, music, culture, songwriting, production.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
Unless I went fast, I don't see the next thing I see is the Jackson 5 at number 104 with I Want You Back.
yeah, yep, I see that too.
Yeah, you're right. That is really surprising.
I'm just flipping through the list real quick here too. Yeah, I just thought, where does that come from? Is that like people having trouble separating the art from the artist?
Yeah, that could be. I wonder if that's really what it is.
I mean, I don't know.
What's your favorite Michael Jackson song?
Favorite Michael Jackson song. I like "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." I like that one.
That's great. I love that one too.
Yeah. I still like that too.
Dad?
I love, yeah, that's such a great riff.
Yeah.
And what's his name from Toto played that guitar part.
Wait, is that Bad or is that Beat It?
Oh, Beat It. I'm sorry, Beat It. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting all mixed up. Beat It. Yes, Beat It. Yeah, so yes, Steve Lukather from Toto played that. The Beat It, the guitar riff there. I think he played the bass and the rhythm guitar too, and then Eddie Van Halen came in and did that crazy solo.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? Favorite Michael Jackson song?
I love Rock With You.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Great introduction.
yeah. I love Human Nature, actually. I
Yep,
think that's a beautiful song.
it is. Yeah,
Uh, yeah, what else? God, there's so many, but
I know.
it's hard to. It's probably Rock With You. I really love that. It's such a cool little. I love the '70s groove of it. It's
Oh
really
yeah,
it's really disco and
it's kind of in between 70s and not yet 80s yet. And
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's sort of like light disco or something. I can't really.
Oh, it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it is. Yeah, but it's got a cool drum part. That little intro
yeah.
that you know right away what song it is.
Hmm.
Yep. So yeah, that was my biggest surprise.
Yep. No, that's
Um,
very surprising, and I didn't even notice it until you said it.
so
Um, all right.
what's your question? What's your
What
next question?
what irked you? What got under your skin?
Um, hmm. I think initially it was like how when they said the 500 greatest songs, I was take that literally, like, and this is pretty West. These are Western based, Western artists, American English for the most part. And it was like it didn't. I think what Latino musicians make up a really small percentage of the people on these lists. I saw
Definitely.
Santana. I saw Los Lobos. I think I saw Manu Chao.
Yeah,
Maybe Selena. But
maybe.
you look at, yeah, but you look at,
Celia Cruz, I think, is on there.
yeah, but you look at the impact of Latin music on the world, and it's huge. Cuban music, Brazilian music, Mexican music, and to have such a small presence on the list was a little like, oh, where are all these people? But I guess again, it comes down to the people casting the votes.
Yeah,
And same
yeah.
with West African music. Is Fela Kuti on the list? I don't even think he's on the list. Maybe he is. Is Miriam Makeba on the list? I don't know.
Nope, not.
Um, all these people who, if you go to different parts of the world, they have these huge followings, and we get so used to like, you know, which is natural,
Yeah,
But I think as we become more global, it's like kind of can't get away with that excuse anymore.
it's
You know.
true. And I think it's even worse when they do like a little bit of tokenism, right? Where you just like
Yeah.
drop one or two from every
Hmm.
genre, just so you can say, hey, there's a little representation there. And
Right.
but again, it did come down to votes, so it's not like, I mean,
Yeah.
this is the representation of those voters. So
Right. I just think they need to cast their net wider for the people that are voting.
yeah, I think you're right. Definitely.
Get more representation.
Yep.
So that's the thing that kind of irked me the most.
Yep.
And you?
Um, I am always really saddened when when there's absolutely no songs by Joan Armatrading on these lists.
Mm,
I'm just gonna. This is a
right.
very pointed, specific irk.
I'm
Um,
with you. Yeah.
I
I'm
think
signing that
she
petition.
is maybe the most underrated songwriter
Yeah.
in modern music. And look, I do not want to see Carly Rae Jepsen and Cardi B and two songs by Britney Spears on any list where
Yeah.
there's zero songs by Joan Armatrading.
No, I agree.
I'm
I'm with
sorry,
you
but
100%.
that's what starts to ruffle my feathers.
Yeah. No, I've seen Joan Armatrading a few times live, and she's phenomenal. She's a phenomenal performer and a songwriter.
There's at least 10 Joan Armatrading songs that I think
Mhm.
should be on this list.
Oh yeah, and they're not on there.
None, zero.
No, no, I did the same thing. I went through. I kind of did Control F and looked for people.
Control
And
F.
yeah, and she was one of them. Joan Armatrading. No, I
And
did
you know
Richard
what?
Thompson. No,
Right, right. Yeah, there's
and
no Richard Thompson.
there's no Richard Thompson on there.
Um,
Um,
And okay, look, these are a little bit more under the radar artists, I guess.
Yeah,
Neither of
kind
them have
of.
had a mega hit. Okay, that's okay.
Right.
But seriously, I
Yeah.
mean, how the hell is Carly Rae Jepsen? I'm sorry, I don't mean to be picking on Carly Rae Jepsen, but
No, that's fine. Go ahead. Pick.
there's just no excuse. There's no excuse to have her on there if Joan Armatrading isn't on there.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just
That's when the cynicism kicks in, and you're like, oh, they're just trying to sell
a
magazines.
little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
For me at
Uh,
least.
you got Outcast in
Yeah.
the top 20,
Mm,
and you don't have room for one Joan Armatrading song. I mean, it's just I'm sorry.
no, I know. That's true. That's a good gripe. I'm with you on that gripe. And it was like, I think after I did a quick scan and then I did my control Fs and like
Yeah,
tried to find people like, oh, where's this person? Oh, okay. All
yeah,
right. Okay. And yeah, it does feel like, where is this person that's done all this amazing work over the years?
yeah. So if Joan, if you're watching our podcast, I want you to know that you are deeply appreciated.
You are
And
Lakin Bridge.
I love your music, and you should freaking be on this list
Yes.
at least 2 or 3 times.
Yes, I love your music too. And you should come back to Burlington. But you can't play Memorial Auditorium because it's not open anymore. So
Oh,
that's where I saw her. I think both times.
yeah.
But
All right. What's your next question?
my next question.
Oh, you don't have to have a question. That's okay.
I don't know if I have a question.
Oh, I've got one.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't mind me going again.
No.
Is there anything that you discovered from this list that you didn't know about before that you kind of liked?
Looking through this list actually forced me to like listen to some newer stuff that I probably wouldn't listen to,
Mm-hmm.
and some stuff I thought was okay, some stuff I liked, some stuff I was like, oh my god, how did this make the top? You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, I think one of the first things I listened to that I didn't know, which I probably should have, was oh, the Kanye West song "Runaway," I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
and I just didn't like it. I thought, how did that make top 25?
Yeah.
The chorus was just kind of cheap.
Uh-huh.
It was like throwaway, cheap, like easy. You know,
Yeah.
it just seemed like like, oh, that's too easy.
Yeah.
So I didn't like that.
So that was a discovery that you didn't like.
I didn't like, yeah, I did not like this discovery that I liked. I'm trying to go through my list here, what I listened to. Um, oh, you know what I did like? What was it? One of the Beyonce songs I liked, which I didn't think I would like.
Hmm.
And I was like, Crazy in Love. I'd never heard that song before,
Hmm.
but I'd heard the horn line before. I thought,
Mhm.
I know that horn line. What is that horn? And that always gets me, like perks up my ears. What is that horn line?
Right.
Oh, and it's the Chai Lights. Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
okay.
have that. I have that record.
Yeah.
So I like kind of like trying to figure out where some of the samples come from.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that may be like an old person thing too.
Mm-hmm.
The song was okay. It was good. But I kind of like, where are those horns from? You know.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So I don't know. That's probably a lame answer. I'm
No, I
gonna
mean,
try it.
anytime you hear this horns like that, it's a quick
But
record.
oh, you froze. Did I freeze?
No, did I freeze? Oh, your internet connection is unstable.
Yeah, you just froze on me.
Am I back?
Yep, you're back. Am
Okay,
I back?
you're back.
No, now you're gone.
Oh no. Blah blah blah. Still gone?
No, you're back.
Okay.
Um, but these newer songs, I also recognize that you know, like we've talked about before, I'm not the target audience for
We're not
this.
the target audience.
No.
I don't know though. I think in some ways we are. We still are because we are kind of like that. The in terms of like we're the demographic that's still going to go buy guitars at Guitar Center. We're the demographic that's still going to buy tickets to go see the Eagles, even though
Mhm.
I would. I mean, maybe you and I would not specifically do that, but
Right. Oh, I'm
God,
talking about
men
like
in
the
what's
newer
that?
song. I was referring to the newer songs.
Oh, like we're not the target audience for those new
Yeah,
songs.
yeah.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
sure.
these lists. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah,
But like the newer songs,
right.
you know. And so I part of me just kind of acknowledges that. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
You know. And I've tried watching some of those Rick Beato things where he breaks down the top 10 on Spotify or something.
yeah. Those are
You
good.
know. And it's like it's interesting sometimes to break a song down. And sometimes hearing it acoustically is a totally different experience, you know.
Definitely, definitely.
Sometimes you appreciate a song much more,
Sure.
you know. And I had that happen with you actually, not one of your songs, but a Bruce Springsteen song, which I had heard thousands of times, "Dancing in the Dark," and we've all seen the video. And I was just like, ugh, I never want to hear that song again. And one night when you were up here and you said, "Let's do Dancing in the Dark," and I said, "Oh, okay," and
Yeah.
we played it, and it was just like, oh, I really like this song. You know, it kind of broke it down and it kind of, you know, to its basics.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting way off topic here, but
No, no, there's no getting off topic in this kind of stuff.
yeah.
That's the
But
whole
I
point,
think,
right?
yeah, sometimes breaking these songs down kind of helps you appreciate them more,
Yeah.
or helps you understand why you don't really like it either, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Um, there was one song that I'd never heard before, and I can't find it, and I'm really mad at myself, but I
mhm.
did like it. But since I can't find that one, I will also say that the more I hear of Lizzo, the more I like her.
Mhm.
She's got a song up around the high 400s.
Yeah.
Truth Hurts at 497.
Ooh, just barely made the cut.
Barely made the cut. I think it's a pretty cool tune. It's a pretty cool tune.
Yeah, my kids
Um,
introduced me to her. I
yeah,
like her.
I think I like her because she is into melody. Her songs always have
Mm, yep,
a chorus that I can sing along to.
yep, yep.
Like as you know well, I'm just a sucker for that. So uh, here's another question, unless you've got one. They're coming
No,
to
no.
me. So before, when you made that noise about dancing in the dark, you went, "Ugh, I don't want to ever hear that again." What's this?
Yeah,
What are
yeah.
some songs on here that you're just like, you know what? Enough of that song. I just want it gone from the face of the
Oh,
earth. I'm
yeah.
done with it. I've heard it. It's over. Do you have any of those?
Oh, yeah. I think a lot of them are the classic rock songs, you know. I think
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't I don't ever need to hear Stairway to Heaven again.
Nope.
You know, I don't ever, 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 ever. Um, and some songs that I never that are classic that I was kind of like White Rabbit by Jefferson Airplane. I don't know why that song just kind of rubs me the wrong way. I don't care if I ever hear that one again.
Yeah.
Um,
I
most
still
of
kind
the
of like that song actually. Especially when it's used in a movie really well.
oh yeah.
Like I recently watched something where it was used.
Hmm.
I think maybe it might have been a TV show episode, and it was really good. Just the way they used it was really excellent.
Yeah. I think I've just heard it too many times.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it, but
Um, yeah, the classic like Free Bird. I don't never.
yeah,
That's like that's Leonard Skinner too. So, um, what are some of the other songs?
and they're not bad songs necessarily. They're just
They're not bad songs, but like you know, you turn on your local classic rock station, and you're probably going to hear Boston. You're going to hear Foreigner. You're going to hear Leonard Skinner. Yeah. I think those are the big ones.
yep.
I'm just kind of skipping through the list here. What about you? Maybe I'll come back as I skip through.
I think stuff like Gloria by them. You know, I mean,
Van Morris.
I
Oh,
still love Patti Smith's version. Oh, speaking of Patti Smith, there's no Patti Smith on here either.
there's
So
not.
no, I don't. Oh wait, no, I think the song she did with Springsteen is on here.
Oh yeah, because the night.
Because the night, yeah, I think that's on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Doobie Brothers, What a Fool Believes. I don't really never ever need to hear that again.
Yeah.
Um,
I
and again,
agree.
all due respect to all these artists. I'm not saying these are bad songs. I'm just saying for whatever reason.
Sometimes you just hear them so many times.
Yeah.
And it's like it's just
Personally,
taking up space.
I don't know how a Bon Jovi song makes it onto this list. That's a mystery to me. I think that they are one of the worst things that has ever happened to music, honestly. Sorry. People can make all the comments they want, but
No, that's fine. The only
yeah,
thing, I always try to, I went through this phase of trying to find something good in every song I heard. And that we were in the car on that song, the big one that they do, Living on a Prayer. Is that what it's called?
yeah, that's the one.
And I thought, and I said to Winnie, he said, well, this was all done before auto-tune and they're hitting those notes, and they do a key change where they go up. So
That's
but
true.
that's all I got,
That's true.
But then I think Josephine said, it just sounds like they're screaming. I said, yeah, that's true too. So
Yep. Yep.
yeah, no, I agree. I'd be okay with not hearing them ever again.
Yep.
Um,
I also noticed that there's only one John Prine song on this list.
that's a tragedy as well.
And that kind of goes in
Dramatic.
the Joan Armatrading category.
Yeah, I mean, he's
At
one of
least
the
he's got one,
greatest songwriters of the 20th century,
Yep.
and
Yep.
21st.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think sorry, what were you gonna say?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was Chris Christopherson came to mind. I was wondering, did he make the list too?
He did.
Yeah.
He did. I don't know. Maybe we could go through the top 20 or the top 25.
Sure. Do top 20, top
let's do-
25?
Yeah, and quickly, like just kind of like
Yeah.
Well,
I already kind of briefly talked about number 25, Runaway.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought it started off good and I liked the horns and the beat, and then the chorus came and I thought, oh, that's just kind of, I don't know. No.
Right. I think that you could easily put 26 as 25. I think that would
Oh
be
yeah.
a little bit more understandable.
Yeah. So how do the women, because I think, looking at these lists over the years, women are generally underrepresented, and Black women especially are really underrepresented. Case in point, Joan Armatrading. So maybe we can keep that in mind as we go through the top 25.
Yeah. But we could also count a little bit, like how many Beatles songs there are and so forth.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So 24 is a Beatles song.
Day in the Life.
Really one of their most beloved songs, I think. It's a John Lennon tune.
Yep.
Although I'm sure Paul had a hand in it, of course, but
right, that was the song they kind of glued together, right? They both had parts of a song and
yep,
put them together.
Oh, right, of course, yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite Beatles song. So for me, I would have put that higher just because they're my favorite of all time, and that's my favorite of their songs. So
yeah.
That would be my personal number one song of all time.
Good choice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really
I mean,
it's
just mathematically, right? They're my favorite band. That's my favorite of their songs. Consequently, it would have to be my favorite
song of all time. Move to the front of the line, please.
Yeah. 23 is Heroes by Bowie.
Yeah, great song.
Great song. That's not my favorite Bowie song, but I can't really complain about it. It's a great song.
Yeah, I really like that song. That was, I think, one of the first Bowie records I bought, not really knowing anything about Bowie other than, he was an iconic figure. I guess I would have been in high school, middle school. Robert Fripp plays the great guitar part on that song.
He does the part that sounds like it's a keyboard, right? That
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And the change in that song is just great when it changes, dom 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 dum dum dum, kind of does that walk up, you know.
Uh,
We could be,
I can't
you
remember.
know, it'll come
Oh yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know where you mean. Yeah.
That's just a great change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it works so well.
Yeah.
All right, Be My Baby, the Ronettes.
I can't complain about it. I mean, I think
Yep.
it's clearly like a real landmark song in the
Hmm.
history of pop music.
Right, the Ronettes are huge in the early 60s, early mid 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not a song that I go back to again and again, but
yeah,
it's certainly very cool. And
historically speaking.
yeah,
Yeah. What do we got next?
Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday.
Right.
That's an interesting one to have in the top 25.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably, even people that don't know jazz probably know that song, I think. Hopefully.
I think that song's had a little bit of a renaissance recently too, with
Mhm.
the country's been going through, and I think
Right.
it's been rediscovered
Yeah, yeah, I think
by
so.
younger people, and
Yeah. The
so
lyrics
yeah,
unfortunately still are relevant today. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. It's a powerful song.
Yep.
It's not one of those songs that I want to, it's it takes you places when you listen to that song.
Yeah, it's a funny
Um,
one to have next to Dancing on My Own by Robin.
and coming in next, right?
Actually, to have it sandwiched between Be My Baby and Dancing on My Own is really kind of poignantly bizarre.
Yeah. No,
But
I agree.
I don't think that, again, since there's no real order, there's nothing about that to really look at, except that it's just kind of interesting
Right, the way they landed.
yeah.
Yeah. I
Well, we
don't know
already
the
kind
day.
of unpacked that song a little bit
Yeah.
earlier.
And then we go to the iconic John Lennon song,
Yep.
Imagine. Um, that will probably be on the list for, yeah, a long time, I would say.
I think so, yeah.
People putting together lists of songs that, you know, I think that one will be, it's like a basic bare arrangement with a hopeful message.
Do you think that's the best solo Beatle song of all the songs that they all wrote, and
Oh
without
my
the others?
gosh. I think it's probably one of the most well known,
Probably the most
uh,
famous, yeah.
most famous. I don't know if it's my favorite John Lennon song, but um, I don't know. That's a good question.
It's the only solo Beatles song in the top 25, maybe even in the top 100. The only
Yeah,
McCartney, the only McCartney had a few. He had Band on the Run, he had Live and Let Die, and I think he had Maybe I'm Amazed. Are
yeah.
all on here, but I don't know where they land.
I think, yeah, I mean, I can see where it would be the only Beatle kind of solo song on the top 20. It's an honest song. It's kind of heartfelt, something that people all around the world know,
Yep.
kind of everyone's hopes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great song.
It is a great song. Purple Rain at number 18.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is that the best Prince song? Because it is his highest ranking song. I guess you could get it. We could have a whole podcast about best Prince songs, right?
I know. I think it's his most famous song. I don't know.
I think it's his most famous song. It's probably his most
Yeah,
successful, like arena stomping,
right. Kind of lighters in the air.
lighters in the air. Yeah,
Yeah, ballad, kind of a pseudo ballad.
right.
You know.
Um, what's that interesting story I just heard about that song was that he heard a Bob Seger song.
Oh yeah.
which was like one of those types of songs. What's Bob Seger's like big
Night
stadium?
Moves.
Maybe Night Moves, maybe something like that.
Oh yeah.
And Prince was like really astounded by how popular that song was, and he just wanted to basically write that type of song and just to prove that he could.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, Bob Seger kind of inspired him to write Purple Rain.
Boy, another Midwesterner, right? From Detroit, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody, number 17. It's great. I've got no, that's awesome.
Great opening line, right, from that song. First lines of that song.
Is this, what is it?
Mama, I just killed a man. Is that the first line?
Isn't it, or is it, is this the real love? Is this just...
Was that the end?
the
Oh, I'm thinking of later on when it comes in, yeah.
no escape from reality? I think that's the opening.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of, yeah.
But that's where the story part of it starts.
Yeah,
Mama.
yeah, I was thinking of the story part, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
It's great harmonies.
I mean, it's almost like a bizarre creation that no one had ever put together.
Mhm. Oh, I know. And the chord progressions are interesting in that song too.
Yeah.
The way they kind of descends, and then he does like a little chromatic thing in there as well.
It's great piano playing.
Yeah. Oh, it is. Yeah.
Really creative
really
piano
cool.
playing.
Yeah. And Brian May gets to show off his skills.
Yeah, we had the 45 when I was a kid, and it was one of those 45s that you had to flip over halfway through
I remember this.
to catch the second half. Yeah. The other one was
That's great.
American Pie. American Pie, you had to do that.
Oh, Don McLean.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's so
That's
funny.
so funny.
The song faded out, and then you
Yep.
flipped it over and it faded back in.
Right. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Had to do a special mix for that, for the pressings. No, I think that should be in the top 20.
Yeah, that's surprising that's not in the top 20.
Yeah.
That's a really timeless song.
Oh yeah. Crazy in Love, which we talked about a little bit before.
Mm-hmm.
The horn part from Are You My Woman by the Chi-Lites. It took me a little while to figure it out, but I probably could have Googled it. That would be too easy though.
I don't think that
I'm not sure it should be in the top 20. But
yeah, that's kind of like the Robin one for me. I mean, you've got Born to Run at 27,
mhm.
Satisfaction at 31, you've got Johnny Be Good at 33.
Right.
When Doves Cry
yeah.
at 37, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay hanging out at 38.
Mm-hmm.
Somehow, Beyonce gets in there at 16. I don't know, whatever.
That feels like an intentional placement to me.
Yeah.
The voting box.
Don't worry, Beyonce, we got you.
Yeah, right. But I don't know what I don't know her well enough to know which song would have been more.
Well, I Put a Ring on It is my favorite Beyonce song, and I don't see that.
Oh yeah.
Very high.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you know that one? Put a Ring on It.
Oop, he froze.
Oh no, you froze too. Come back. Uh-oh, you're really gone.
You froze for about 10 seconds there.
Yeah, you did too.
Oh, you're still frozen.
So, oh no, should we stop it? Oh, you're back.
Oh,
am I back? No.
Yes, you are. Okay, you're back.
Okay, maybe we should let's go through these so we don't
okay,
get stuck again.
I
I want to hold your hand at number 15.
Yeah.
Yep, not my favorite Beatles song, but I mean, obviously, it was a game changer in music history, and
right,
it's a great song.
Oh yeah, it is a great song, and not my I don't think I would have put it in the top 20 either, but
yeah,
There would be other Beatles songs I would put up there. Um, Waterloo Sunset, which I've already talked about before,
Should be higher, I think.
should be top 5 at least.
The next two, I think, are the next three, I think, are fantastic. And
Oh yeah,
thank God they got in there in the top 25. Give Me Shelter,
yep,
Superstition, and God Only Knows by the Beach Boys.
yes. I might have put those higher, those two, 12 and 11.
Yeah. And then for me, we've got a big problem.
Yeah, I like the next song. Top 10 though. No, I can't put it in the top 10. Hey, yeah.
No, I don't think so.
It's a silly song, which doesn't mean it shouldn't, be considered a good song, but
Right.
top
You
10.
know what else is a silly song? Monster Mash.
It's right. The streak. Yeah, yeah. And it's catchy. It's catchy as all get out, but I don't know if that is it even a 500 greatest song,
Right. That's a very good point. Right.
I don't even know if it's should be in the top 500.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I don't like it, but
Not if there's no Joan Armatrading.
Richard Thompson.
Okay.
Or more Patti Smith.
Or more Patti Smith. 9 Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, which I think I heard someone say was the highest, is the first time Dreams of all their songs ever got this high. So like,
oh yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Been some kind of like rebirth of that particular Fleetwood Mac song.
Do you like that song?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you? Yeah, I'm going to go way off tangent. What did you think of that whole reunion thing where they got Neil Finn and Mike Campbell to play with Fleetwood Mac? That was bizarre, I thought.
Yeah, I don't really follow that. I'm sorry. I didn't really
No,
know.
that's okay. Yeah, I like that song. I'm not, I think it's one I've heard those songs a lot. So
Yeah.
mostly radio and as a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah. Get Your Freak On.
Yep. I don't know that song very well.
I don't either.
I've listened to Missy Elliot. I think she's good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think she's better than Joan Armatrading good, but I think
Then you get a hashtag this.
she's a significant, important artist in hip hop, and she's probably considered in the. Would she be in the Mount Rushmore? I don't know.
Maybe. I think she probably would. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's an important figure in that genre.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's really cool. That song, I don't know, as far as top 10 of all time, but
yeah,
tis what it is.
Yeah. Strawberry Fields Forever is next.
Great song. I don't think it's as good as Day in the Life quite, but it's up there, definitely up there.
Yeah, I was surprised Penny Lane didn't get higher.
Yeah, Penny Lane yeah, you're right. That is a really
maybe that's one of my, because that's one of my favorite Beatles songs.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm a little surprised Strawberry Fields made it so high. But
I wonder why that is. I wonder if that song has had a little bit of a rebirth for some reason. Somebody said that of all the songs in that movie, what's that movie that Julie Taymor made a few years ago, where she used all those Beatles songs to create this story about,
oh yeah,
what was that movie? Across the Universe.
Across, yeah.
So,
which is a Lennon song, yeah.
Yeah, so they were saying that song and that scene in the movie is like the most beloved scene.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were like a kid when that movie came out and you grew up with that scene,
oh yeah,
and that song, and so like it had a special connection for you, and so that age voter might have been like really attached to that Beatles song.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but it's a great song. It's a great song.
Oh, it is. Yeah. What's
That's some
going on?
Ringo's got, that's some of my favorite
Oh, yeah.
Ringo drumming.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was always perfect, wasn't he?
He's really creative on that one. What he does on that song is just so creative.
Yeah. I think I can't think of a time where he didn't kind of nail the drum part.
Oh yeah.
Um, and even in Penny Lane, the groove he lays down in that song is just so good.
Well, I make the argument that Ringo invented hip hop because when you listen to some of the grooves that he came up with, like listen, like the groove for Sergeant Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band,
Oh yeah. Yep.
Penny Lane,
Hmm.
they are almost like hip hop
Right.
drum beats.
Oh yeah, that's true. Wow.
So
Yeah, I think you got something there.
yeah,
Yeah, I was reading something where I mean, it's one of those things too where you can tell when McCartney played the drums on a song.
yeah.
It's like, you can tell when McCartney played the lead versus Harrison. And you can always tell when McCartney played the drums because he seems much more like heavy-handed,
Yeah.
you know. Um, yeah. So I don't. Yeah, I think Ringo should have played drums on every Beatles song. But that's yeah.
What's going on, Marvin Gaye? I think that should be higher, personally.
Yeah, I do too. That's one of the best songs
It's
ever.
also extremely important. Like it's a really,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? It's a song that stands for something very, very meaningful and important.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a song that was definitely of its time, but it's still impactful
yeah,
today, and it always has been. It's never, it's like a protest song that makes sense even after 50 years.
right. And on top of
Um,
that, it's just a beautiful song.
oh yeah, yeah.
You know, heartbreaking. So it really,
Hmm.
the lyrics are just like, oh my God.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I think I would put that higher.
Um, number five. Okay, so now we're in the top five. Here we go.
Here we go.
Smells Like Teen Spirit, number five.
Hmm.
Sounds like you're not too crazy about that choice.
I'm not. I mean, I'm fine. I think it's an important song historically.
Hmm.
To put it in the top five, I think is a little much. Um, to put it ahead of what's going on,
Yeah,
to put it ahead of Superstition, to put it ahead of, Imagine.
yeah,
I don't know. Um, I think it should be in the top 500. I don't think it should be in the top five.
yeah. I agree.
Um,
It's also interesting to note at this point that the Beatles are done.
oh yeah,
Beatles don't crack the top five, which is,
this is a first, right?
I think so, yeah, which is
Yeah.
really shocking, really shocking.
Hmm.
Um, anyway, I do agree with you about Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah. Yeah. These lists are hard. It's like when they do the top 100 guitar players.
That's
It's
so
those kind of
subjective. That's so
yeah, and
subjective.
like Kurt Cobain makes the list. It's like, well, okay, you know, he can play the guitar and he's good, but top 100, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Sometimes it's for the style too. It's for the
Hmm.
what they brought out of the instrument as well as the technicality.
Yeah,
You
sure,
know,
sure.
like John
Yep,
Lennon is often listed on those lists too, and you don't really think of him because you think of George really being the lead.
right,
But John had a really specific way of playing and bringing out something of himself through the guitar.
exactly. Yeah.
That's really important too in terms of what makes a special player.
Oh, definitely. Yep, that's true.
But yeah, so it Smells Like Teen Spirit, number five. Number four is a pretty tried and true top lander in the top five of most of these lists.
Right. Yeah, like a Rolling Stone, Bob Dylan.
Many people say that opening crack of that drum on that song is like the moment that music changed forever, right?
Yeah, and they make a good point, right? It's not a short song. It's just, it's what, 7 minutes or something? It's wordy.
I never feel those 7 minutes when I listen to that song.
Oh no, definitely not. Yeah.
Every single time that chorus comes around, it's like you're so happy again. You're like, there it is again. That's great. You could do it 20 times if you want. It feels good every single time.
Oh, I know it does. Yeah, it does. And I love the way that song sounds too. I don't think, I think production wise, it hasn't aged badly at all.
True. That's very true.
I think I still get excited when I hear it, when
Yeah.
it comes on and you hear that crack. And it wasn't a Bruce Springsteen who talked about it, hearing it on the radio and how it changed how he saw, songs and songwriting and how you could, put words to songs and yeah.
Yep.
Man, it's a great one. How long is that song anyway? 6 minutes and 13 seconds.
Okay.
That's yeah.
Now that's his highest ranking song, and then he doesn't appear again for a while, to be honest, and that is surprising also.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's been a little bit of a distancing of people and like really being into Bob Dylan.
Maybe, yeah. I mean,
Maybe he's lost people in the last 20 years with the albums that he came out with, although I think they're some of his best, but
yeah. Yeah, I think you might be right.
He doesn't appear again, it looks like, until 67 with Tangled Up in Blue.
Wow.
So that's surprising.
Yeah, for someone to be considered like one of the best songwriters, and there's someone who influenced, a lot of these people on this list, to have him not make so many appearances. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I still love. Yeah, what was it? Have you seen those interviews with Al Cooper where he talks about how he got on the session,
No,
playing the organ part there?
I don't think so. Maybe I have.
He was there at the recording and he kept asking, I got a great organ part, and they're like, yeah, whatever. And then who was ever running the session like got a phone call, and so he snuck in and sat down at the organ. And when they went to the next take, he was on it, but he didn't really know the chord changes so well, so you can hear it like he kind of comes in after the organ comes in, like maybe Bloomfield will hit the chord and then the organ will come in right after.
Oh, I'll have to pay attention to that now.
Yeah. I think it's probably on YouTube as well. His interviews are so funny too, and informative. So yeah.
And that organ sound can often make a song sound kind of dated, but it doesn't for that one.
Oh no, it doesn't
somehow. I don't know how. It's like a magical thing.
I know. All right, so we keep going.
Yeah.
The change is going to come. Sam Cooke.
Yeah. So go ahead. What do you think about that one?
I think it's a classic song. I think it belongs in the top 5. Yeah, I love Sam Cooke. I'm happy with that placement.
I love Sam Cooke too, but I think the one that was dropped, You Send Me, I think is actually that I like that song a little bit more.
You do, yeah.
Yeah. I've got no beef with The Change Is Gonna Come, but for me, it wouldn't be even Sam Cooke's. It's not my favorite Sam Cooke song even.
Oh wow, okay.
So, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's another one, kind of like Strange Fruit, that has maybe caught on a bit because of the social justice unrest that we've had in this country over the last couple of years.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Which is great that it's been recognized. I mean, not great that we have social justice unrest, but
right, sure,
that it found its way to being part of the voice of what we're going through.
Yeah,
it's a great song.
I agree. Yeah, it's a great song and kind of fits a theme with the next song too, right?
Yeah, definitely. The next 3, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
So what are your thoughts about Fight the Power at number 2?
Mm, hmm.
It's,
Um,
it's the highest appearance of a hip hop rap song.
I can see where it would be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a powerful song. Um, the vocals are right out there. Chuck D's vocals are in your face. Kind of thing. I remember going to see "Do the Right Thing." Whatever that summer was, '89 or something, and that song was just everywhere. And it's catchy. It's catchy as hell.
It
Um,
fires me up. It gets me pumped up.
yeah, it does. I guess that makes sense that Public Enemy would be, in the top 10 as far as a hip hop band. Um, I'm not sure how they haven't really been relevant for years, but I
Right.
think that was probably their peak, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And I'm not saying that's a good or a bad thing. It's just
Yeah.
the way it kind of rolled out. Yeah, I mean it's a great song. A great delivery. It's a powerful delivery. It's a powerful song. Um, with at the same time, it's another comment on our culture and our society, what kind of upheaval and turmoil we go through in this country, every day. And sometimes it kind of gets more heated than other times. And I think that was one of those times, probably, especially
Yeah.
in your neck of the woods, right?
Yeah.
New York City in the late 80s.
Yeah, that song is very tied to that era for me, for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
Especially to that movie.
Hmm.
Um, it is it's really an incredible creation of art
Hmm.
and sound. I mean, just the production of it is so interesting. It's so cool.
Oh yeah.
You're right. Chuck D's vocals, his rapping is just it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that song.
Um, I think it belongs in the top 10, maybe
Hmm.
or the top 20. I don't know. When you start getting into the top five and whatever, you're kind of splitting hairs about
Right.
why not something should be there. But
Yeah.
um, I don't really have any problem with it. I guess I do. I think that A Day in the Life is a stronger song overall,
Hmm.
but I get it. I do. I could see why it's such a high ranking song.
Right. Yeah. And you can see the, I mean, if you break down the genres, if you look at the top 10, right, there's hip hop at number 10, and then Fleetwood Mac is kind of classic rock, Missy Elliot, the Beatles, Marvin Gaye, Nirvana, Bob Dylan, Sam Cooke, Public Enemy, and Aretha Franklin. So they kind of like, I
They
don't
give
know,
you a little bit of everything in the
they
top.
give you a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's like you can only complain so much, right? It's like, where's this person,
yeah,
if I think, you know, and where's this genre? Or where's this,
yeah.
yeah, so they do give you a little bit of everything in the top 10.
Hmm.
Um,
And then Respect at number one,
right.
the Queen.
Aretha, Aretha Franklin. Who was number one last time? Do you remember on the old list?
Uh, I
Was
don't
it
know.
Marvin Gaye or was it?
I think it was Marvin Gaye. What's going on, actually?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
seem to
think
have.
they have, in what I'm looking at, I don't think they have that full list, but
Yeah.
I kind of just remember that actually.
Mm,
So what are your thoughts on that as number one?
I have no problem with Aretha Franklin being number one. Um, that's not my favorite Aretha Franklin song.
Right, me
Uh,
too. Yeah.
um, I might have put something else up there, but I don't know what. I mean, she's got so many. What about you?
Yeah, it's not my favorite Aretha song. I think my favorite Aretha song is, although she didn't write it, but is well, she didn't write this either. That's Otis Redding, right? But
Yeah,
um, You Make Me Feel Like a Natural Woman, I think is her best.
yeah, I was going to say that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But quite honestly, I don't think either of them is the best song of all time.
Hmm. You think it's a performance thing or a songwriting thing?
About why it is number one.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
think,
that's a whole other discussion though, right?
yeah, I don't know. That song, I feel like had a huge life. It's always had a huge life.
Yeah.
It's I don't know why it suddenly came up as number one now in 2021.
Hmm.
Uh, I haven't noticed like out in the world that it's caught fire or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm really not sure. But I don't. For me, it's not the best song of all time. No, no disrespect. It's, but
Yeah.
I just think it's a great song.
Yeah.
But
Oh
it's
yeah.
not like it's not transcendent.
Mm,
If that makes sense. Like I think
sure.
what's going on is transcendent. I think A Day in the
Right.
Life is transcendent. I think Waterloo Sunset is transcendent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a Rolling Stone.
Hmm.
Smells Like Teen Spirit is not transcendent to me.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I
um,
know.
and I think a song needs to be that to be number one.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know,
Yeah. That's a
respect.
good point.
Respect has always felt like that song at a wedding that they play, and then all the women at the wedding
Get
jump
people
on
on
the
the
dance
dance floor.
floor and start
Right.
shaking their finger at all the guys.
Right.
So it's sort of like a maybe the greatest party song of all time. You know,
I like that.
but I don't think it's like the greatest song of all time. I just don't.
I think
Uh,
if I had to, there's other songs I would put and this is for the guitar part too. I put Chain of Fools over Respect, I think.
mhm. Also,
Or
I
Do
never
Right
loved.
Woman.
Which one?
Oh yeah. Do Right Woman. Do Right Man.
Yeah, and also I never loved a man the way that I love you. Is that the title of that song?
Yeah, yeah.
Like that. That and Natural Woman are just like.
Mm, yeah,
I
that's
think they're,
true.
I think they're better songs than Respect, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Respect just has that kind of, you know, I don't know, it's got like a legacy to it or something.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's got a cool production too, the Aretha Franklin one.
Yeah, there's nothing
Uh,
wrong with it. It's a great
yeah,
song.
I'm just trying to think.
But you know
Yeah,
what? I'll tell you what. Here's a good way of measuring something. Over the
yeah.
course of my life, I don't think there have been even 5 times that I've decided I really want to hear Respect right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's so out there anyway.
Hmm. You can hear
Uh,
it probably
yeah.
anytime you want to. Yeah.
Whereas Superstition,
Hmm.
um, or a lot of these other songs, like I want those songs on
Yeah,
every
yeah.
so often. They just they kill me. They're awesome.
What about her version of Amazing Grace?
Yeah, that's great too. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
know. It's a tough one. Yeah, number one, I guess it kind of surprised me, but I think, yeah, I think it had more to do with like yeah, the legacy of the song.
mm-hmm.
People know it. I don't think anybody dislikes the song. I can't imagine. You know,
Right.
uh,
Right.
and it's
Uh,
probably it's probably her most well known song. I think among people who
oh yeah, definitely.
you
Definitely.
know. So that maybe I don't know. Maybe the reason why I got it to the number one slot.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's no Bob Marley higher than no in the top 25.
I know. Yeah, that's another surprising one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bob Marley. I mean,
Um,
do you think that's a what do you think that is?
I don't know because that
The
he seems
years?
like he's always popular.
Yeah, among the young people.
Yep.
Even he comes around. It's kind
Yep.
of like, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
that's true. I don't know.
anyway, I I think overall it is a really good list. It just has it has a handful of really huge problems,
Hmm. Right.
which I think we've outlined, but I can't,
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and rip it to shreds. I think it's really well done, and it's got some,
Hmm.
there's great songs on here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, it is. It's true.
I look forward to their next one.
The next list. I mean, it's like, when the last list was put together, what, 2004, you said?
Yeah.
So you look at, like what, you know, I think things have changed a lot, like, as far as like streaming and, you know,
Yep.
in the last 15, 16 years, 17 years.
Yeah. Spotify didn't exist in 2004.
Spotify didn't.
I
We
don't
were
think.
on MySpace probably in 2004, weren't we?
Yeah, and in fact, I don't think the iPhone was even invented yet. I think that came out in 2008.
Right. So people had iPods,
iPods, yeah.
and this was after Napster, right? This 2004 would be after Napster and the whole pirating and
Yeah. And
uh,
people who were babies in 2004 are now music listening adults.
right. Yeah, my kids were born in the late 90s, early 2000s, and now they're affecting this list, they're listening.
Yeah.
I see the people that they like on here. Um, and it's just the amount of music out there is like incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, and the ability to create music has become, so much easier, even from back in 2004, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I think
goofballs like me can make music.
no, that was insane. But like GarageBand, when did GarageBand come out? Was that
That's a good
probably,
question. Yeah, it's probably around then, I would think.
yeah. So it allowed people, I mean, because gradually it became easier and easier to create music. And then with the digital platform, it was easier to create something that you could actually put out in the world that sounded, sonically comparable to, what major labels were doing in some ways,
Yeah.
you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, it's like, it's like the end of the year. How do you, I think the top 10 lists for all the music critics are different because there's just so much music.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. There
Yeah.
always seems to be some crossover of a few things on all those lists, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get into some really micro categories now too, like,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
it's really hard to even categorize music anymore.
Right.
But oh, I'm sorry, I forgot another Irk.
Irk away.
There's
Urkel.
only one Wilco song on this list, and it's
Ah.
I think they're maybe the most creative rock band of the last 25 years.
Mm,
And
right.
but they've never had a hit, which I think works against them on lists like this.
Right.
And the song that they chose is that song. I don't know if you know it, Heavy Metal Drummer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know that song.
I don't even think that's the best song on that album.
I thought they would have chosen a different Wilco
I
song.
thought they would have chosen Jesus, etc. That's usually comes up as like Wilco's
Yeah.
Wilco's signature song, but
Yeah.
it, yep. So I think that's a really big problem that they're not more represented on here.
Mm. Yeah, they
Um,
definitely find, I mean, they certainly do all right for themselves, but maybe that's a comment on the, music industry, how you can be a band like Wilco, you can, tour and make money and make these, really good records and get some radio play or whatever, but not make the top 500 or make, just one song.
That'd be an interesting way to go through the list, would be to say artist by artist, who's a real money making artist on here and who
Hmm.
isn't.
Right.
Then you can kind of get at where people are being respected for their craft of songwriting versus their craft of commercialization of songwriting.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
not that commercial success is a sign of a bad song. Like we shouldn't
Hmm.
poo-poo music that makes money, because a lot of it is great. But
Yeah.
I would probably my guess would be that there aren't a ton of artists on here who did poorly commercially.
Right. I think, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I think just looking at the list, it's like these are, I mean, the top, there's like what, the Beatles and um, you know, yeah,
Um,
the Stones,
and I think,
Beyonce, yeah, all these people are making
yeah,
money.
and some of them are going to make money in perpetuity, like forever, because they are, like these
Right,
songs have become like going to get a half a gallon of milk at the grocery store,
right.
they're always going to be bought,
Oh yeah,
you
yep.
know. But I think a band like Wilco is, they're successful, but not by any means successful to the point where they're putting tons of dollars into the pockets of people who own record labels and people who own Pepsi and Mountain
Mm,
Dew and Nike and stuff like that,
right, yeah.
Like where's Nick Drake on here? Is there even one Nick Drake song? I bet there's one. Probably Pink Moon is on here
I think so.
because it sold a lot of Volkswagens, right?
Right.
but
Oh
but
yeah,
clearly that's not his only great song.
yeah.
You know who else hasn't sold anything for anybody? Come on,
Who
you can say it.
who hasn't sold anything for anybody? Uh, I don't know. Who are you thinking?
Joan Armatrading.
Oh, Joan Armatrading. Blast it all. You know who else?
She's not
You know who
really
else?
a commercial artist.
You know who else didn't make the list? I don't think made the list. Who I was really surprised is John Hyatt.
Yeah, John Hyatt, right? Yep.
He's had
That's that.
some,
That's that sort of next level of artists who's like moderately successful. I mean,
right,
way more successful than you know.
but
That's
I mean, he's had some, slow turning. That was everywhere, in the
right.
80s when
That's
it came
true.
out.
That is, yeah, you're right.
Thing called Love, which Bonnie Raitt covered.
Right.
Um, Have a Little Faith in Me. You know,
Right. Yeah.
he's a great songwriter. He's considered, one of the best, American songwriters.
You know who's not on here either is what's his name? The guy that does all those Disney songs.
Oh, Randy Newman?
Yeah, Randy Newman.
Really? He's not on there either.
No.
Interesting.
And speaking of that, I think another oversight, like if they're going to bring jazz into it,
Yeah.
I think that they made a mistake of not including like songs from musical productions that stand alone as great songs,
Oh, yeah.
like
Like from,
like some of the songs from, okay, like America from West Side Story,
hmm
or
oh,
Everything's
yeah.
Right from Jesus Christ Superstar,
Yeah.
or Memory from Cats, like things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
That's true.
Also, there isn't a single Frank Sinatra song on here, which is really surprising.
I was surprised at that. Yeah. Difference. Did Warren Zevon make the list?
No, no Warren Zevon.
That's another surprising omission for me.
Hmm.
Werewolves of London,
That's
Hmm.
actually a song I could deal with never hearing again. I'm sorry to say.
Oh no, no, yeah, it's not my favorite song of his by any means. I like there's other songs of his that I like a lot more, but
Yeah,
I would think if they were going to put one, they would have put that one.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Not a heck of a lot of country on here, like classic country. Like I think there's maybe one, maybe two Willie Nelson songs.
yeah. What about Johnny Cash?
There's a handful of Johnny Cash, but not a ton.
Yeah.
There's one Merle Haggard song. There's only Jolene, I think, made it on there for Dolly Parton,
Oh, I think you're right. Yeah.
um, which she probably owes to those two kids doing those videos.
I know, right? And all of a sudden, her Spotify sales go through the roof. Yeah.
um,
Who else? Who else in the country world? You said Willie Nelson had a couple on there, maybe.
yeah, maybe one or two.
It seems, yeah. Sometimes it seems like a token thing, like, oh, there's Johnny Cash.
Yeah, Patsy Cline is on here once.
Patsy Cline, yeah.
Where is he? There's no Katie Lang.
Wow.
Um,
No
I
Kitty
I
Wells.
wonder how those folks feel, like seeing that they couldn't even crack the top 500, not even once.
Right. I
I
don't
wonder how
know.
that feels for them. That must be,
You
I don't
think they're
know.
okay with it, or you think they're like
I bet it hurts a little.
probably when they look at the list and like, what?
Suzanne Vega's not on here.
Suzanne Vega. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Did Liz Fair make the list?
Liz Fair got one song, yeah.
Huh. What about Steve Earle?
I did not see Steve Earle.
Yeah. Another great songwriter.
Sade's on here once.
Yeah, I saw her on there once. Yeah, I think she was one of my control Fs. Yeah.
Nice. um, so not a ton of 80s stuff either, like new wave.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Yeah.
Elvis Costello had one song.
Right. But he's kind of way beyond. Yeah. But how about someone like Depeche Mode or someone?
One song. I saw one.
I think I saw a New Order song on there too.
New Order got a song on here, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that, you're right. It seems like, a token, like, oh, we need to hit the big ones,
Yeah, yeah. No Television.
No, I didn't see them on there. Yeah.
Anyway, I guess we've gone through it pretty good. That was a good conversation.
It was, yeah.
We could probably go on for another hour, but
I was a little intimidated when you said you wanted to break down the top 500. I was like, oh man, that's a lot of songs. And I tried, I think your initial thing is when you, for me at least, when you see a list like that, you think like, oh, what are they missing? That was my first instinct actually. Like, who is this person on here? Is this person on here? Why aren't they on here? Why isn't my guy on there? But that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not, I wouldn't want to be part of that. Putting together that list.
That would have been an interesting process to kind of watch. I am going to look for the list after this of who the voters were.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. It was fun. Yeah, it was good to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you know the writer? I think I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Taiju Cole.
I don't think so.
I follow him on Facebook, and he was one of the people that kind of like, what is this list? And he had his followers submit songs to him that they thought should be on the list, and his followers are all around the world. And he put together a Spotify playlist of his, like, I think it was top 100 or something. I don't think he did 500.
That's cool.
He put together a whole, like, this is what I think, and me and my friends or followers think should be the top 100 at least. So maybe we should do that.
Well, I forgot to tell you, I did start my own list.
You did?
Yeah, I'm up to like 248.
Whoa. Is it on Spotify?
I just started making a Google Doc.
Oh, okay.
But I'll send it to you. I have to finish it.
Yeah. That's impressive. 248.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are also on here,
Yeah.
But, I tried not to use this as a as a guide too much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was fun. I got to finish it. I forgot about that.
Cool. You should put it up out in the world.
Yeah, I guess I should.
Get some feedback.
Done.
I bet Joan Armatrading's on your list.
Oh, you betcha. More than once. So Joan, if you're listening, reach out, okay? danstraussmusic.com.
That's right.
I would love to meet you. I would love to talk to you. You're a inspiration. All right, I'm gonna stop with Joan Armatrading now.
Cease and desist. That's right.
Yeah. All right, man. So I'll see you for the next one.